do that?
It was
So,
me. No, sorry about that.
okay. All right. Well, hopefully, well, good thing that wasn't recorded then. All right, so we officially have a quorum for our meeting. And I've just put this little agenda up here just to let folks know what's gonna happen or what the usual process is. And so delighted that folks could be here, and I wanted to move on to this piece and ask if somebody on the board could make a motion to have this function as our membership meeting tonight.
So moved.
Seconded.
So move.
Missy, do you want to call for a vote on that?
So it sounded like we had a motion from Ken, seconded by, or was it Francie that made the motion and Dale seconded? I think there were a lot of ties there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, okay, do we have all in favor of having this meeting also act as our May board meeting? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstained? Passes unanimous.
Right. And I did want to take a moment here to highlight the fact that some of our board members have been phenomenally involved for years and years. And so Vice President Ken Larson, would you like to introduce yourself?
Ken, would you please introduce yourself?
Is he on mute?
Mm-mm. I almost think you fell asleep.
Oh,
So
what was it you wanted?
Could you introduce yourself?
Oh, okay. My name is Ken Larson. I am the Vice President of the Arc of Whatcom County. I'm also with South Abington Leadership, been for a number of years. Also with the Arc of Washington State. And go ahead, wife. Introduce yourself.
Oh, what let me say? Well, I'm Susan Larson, and I'm with People First, and I do a lot of things, many hats.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then
are other board members able to introduce themselves as well? Dale?
Yeah, I'm Dale Whip on board of directors.
And Francie?
Francie Chalmers, I'm on the board.
And
I'm here, Ellie.
Ellie
Moselle. I'm on the board. I've been on the board since 2021.
And I am Missy Bartel. I've been acting as president and scatterbrained natural extraordinaire. And then it looks like that's everybody, all of our board members. Maybe we can have ARC.
Oh.
Huh?
Oh, I just realized, yeah. Do you want other introductions too? That makes sense. So staff is here. So I'm Beverly Porter, Executive Director. And
I'm Rhonda, and I'm on staff here also in the office with her.
I'm Hillary. I'm also on staff.
And I'm Melissa, and I've been at the ARC since 2017, and I work for the Parent to Parent and the Parent Coalition program.
And I'm Barbara Roxas. I've been at the ARC since 2019 and then back in 2021, supporting families with Down syndrome and also families going through the guides process.
And then any guests, any members, other members?
Suzanne is here.
I'm Suzanne. I'm a parent, and I just recently joined to be part of the ARC itself. Otherwise, I'm kind of known for Opal and Phoebe, the pig. So you know, just got to meet her. Just kind of getting more involved.
Well, thank you.
Right.
Okay.
So as I had started to share a bit earlier, we have some great information here that the board has previously seen in the executive director reports at meetings, but it's a summary of what happened in 2025. And it's a combination of different categories in the way that we do our work here. Melissa has done a beautiful job and put this into a nice glossy format for us to try to make it a little more meaningful as well. Those monthly newsletters that go out to families are 12 pages of extensive information, connections with events and trainings and resources and information for folks. We had 5 Spanish newsletters that went out last year and had 9 family caregiver trainings that we participated in or actually facilitated. We've been able to connect with a lot of different school districts from those elementary primary years through the high school years and community transitions for a total of 28 different presentations that we gave to staff, to educators in the school districts this past year, talking about choice and self-determination and that transition to adult services. And those kind of conversations, along with a lot of other things, also come up at the parent support meetings. And Melissa, Alina, Marta, and Carlene have all been instrumental in facilitating some small and large group meetings that happened throughout the year. Along with that, we've had many events, and a total of 257 people have come to those 29 support group meetings. So that's the flip side of that those events, almost 30, meant a great deal of support and connection for families to be able to network, to be able to just talk about what's happening in their lives right now and the concerns and challenges that come up as well. We've had fun. And so these networking and social events have had a total of 409 people who've attended those as well, and have continued to provide some networking and social events for Latino families also. But we have seen a drop in some attendance with that, with concerns around immigration. So finding other ways to do outreach and connection with those families as well. Out of those trainings that we provided last year, there were 96 people who came and attended and participated. And one more fun event was the Buddy Fest, which happened in Linden again at the Northwest Washington Fairgrounds. And Barbara and Rhonda, along with the team of volunteers, were able to welcome and greet and ensure that folks had fun for 308 people this last September. Carlene and Rhonda have been facilitating the self-advocacy meetings, and so I've had a total of 61 folks who've attended this last year. Those school presentations that we've been involved in meant that 277 educators were included in those presentations, and were able to learn more about developmental disability rights, as well as more ways around choice and self-determination to include students in the entirety of the school programs. We also had some presentations and events throughout the community that meant over 467 people were able to learn more about the ARC, understand more about a positive and accurate image of folks with developmental disabilities as well. The one-on-one connection is just amazing. And the piece about connection is so soothing and comforting to be able to call up and request assistance with navigating through services, figuring out kind of what our priorities and strategies are, So as you can see, we provided assistance for over 515 folks in navigating services and understanding more about the different challenges that they were facing. Our parent-to-parent program had 624 one-on-one connections, and these are unduplicated connections throughout the year, along with 511 families who had connection with Marta and Alina. We also have helping parent matches, and so 30 people in this last year were able to be paired with a peer who's had extensive training and able to provide some information. But the best part is that it's another parent who has a child with a diagnosis that's the same or very similar to the diagnosis your own child has. So these numbers mean connection. These numbers mean less isolation. These numbers mean reassurance and support for folks. And we do it with some amazing staff and some money. So in the last year, our programs and services is the majority of our spending for staff, for program support, for the pieces that go into all of that work with newsletters, meetings, facilitating some of those connections at support meetings and getting information out to the schools. Some of the monies do go towards administration. About 19% of our expenses are in administration. We spent just 2% on fundraising, which is a very small amount, and our facilities, our buildings are about 4% of our annual costs. And we do it by making money and being able to bring funds in. So the income that we have as an agency, a big portion of that comes from rental income that is through the Building Performance Center, an Alderwood area building that we lease to the Opportunity Council for their Building Performance Center. And that has been a big source of help income-wise to help shore up where funding may be short. Because we do get funding for programs and services that comes through Whatcom County Health Department and United Way, and some other smaller grants, but that doesn't cover all of our costs. So that rental income is essential for our continuing services. We do have about 17% of our income has come from individual donations. And then we have some other income that's come through some other manners of some particular payments that might come through United Way or through the combined fund through Washington State, which is a smaller part of our income. So that was the end of the annual report. But I'm happy to take questions if folks have them, and then we will be mailing this out to the membership as well.
There's a question in the chat.
Oh, there's a question in the chat. Oh, could meetings happen at schools for those worried about ICE? Oh, Suzanne, that is a great idea. So yes, we have done some different ways of connecting with the school districts and with Spanish speaking folks in the community. So we still have some meetings that are happening. We're not putting those on social media.
Fair.
Or publishing them anywhere. So all the connections we're having are through phone calls and direct mail and in person, with home visits and then some in-person meetings that we are coordinating as well. But where the turnout used to be maybe 8 to 10 people at a group, we may have 2 or 3 now. And that's
What I was wondering though was spreading it out, changing it up. So maybe if they didn't think it was the same location every time, they could probably feel a little bit safer because they could feel like ICE couldn't really get a grip on it, is kind of what I was thinking. So getting more schools involved, not just all of the Bellingham ones, but also seeing about like if we can include Ferndale because it's not too far. I don't maybe Sumas, but I had my doubts on Sumas and Meridian based on the demographic, but still, but including a few more schools trying to get it, so it's more like playing Where's the Queen.
Exactly, yes. And so one of the things that is happening is there's a lot of home visits that are still happening. So
Mhm.
people are getting connection that way. And those are, you know, that's Acme, Deming, Sumas, Blaine, all
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
So that is happening. And some of the support meetings that happen are in Ferndale, not just in Bellingham. So those are also accessible and fairly safe. And then we are working with all of those school districts. We're in contact as well with family resource coordinators and have met with many of the folks who are working with the Latino population. So trying to find workarounds with all of that. So it's
It's a
kind of
work in
tricky.
progress, but yeah,
It
it's
is.
a lot
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of the kind of unfamiliar territory for us.
Right, yeah, and staff are continuing to get professional development around immigration issues and what's happening, and we've worked on some of our strategies and plans here. And we have a kind of a staff in-service happening soon with an immigration attorney to find out a little bit more about how we can continue to support families and what families can expect. Because it is challenging to even know, regardless of somebody's status, how they may be treated.
I'm going to personally email you somebody who helped out Max Higby with some stuff, so and might be interested in helping you guys out as well, as you know, again, parent of a special needs kiddo. But so, and you may even know who this person is, but I will personally email you and see, because they might be able to help out with some of the teachings and stuff that might be necessary.
Yeah, thanks, Suzanne. Appreciate that. Yeah, we've worked with two different immigration attorneys over the years here, and and one of the things that we've been able to do as an ARC is to kind of substantiate somebody's immigration story and say that this parent has been involved in the community, supporting the community as a helping parent, as a volunteer, all of those things. So it's been a part of our ongoing work to be connected with the immigration courts and the immigration attorneys as well. So, and I know this has come up from the board as well, their concerns and interest in wanting to make sure that there is equity and that there are opportunities for families to get the support that they need.
Yeah. Well, I'm also wondering if Lummy's concerned too, because honestly, they're not really caring about whether or not you're native, just brown. So I know it's a concern that have a parent that's kind of concerned about it because she's got a very brown child while she's a very white woman. So it's, I know it's concerned. So I was wondering if Lummy's also getting involved for helping out.
Yes, yes, we have some connections there too, yeah. And one of the things that we've done with families, there's an emergency plan. I won't get into the whole detail, all the details of it, but if a student was in school and a parent was detained and not able to come and pick them up after school or whatever, we have worked with families to develop an emergency plan so that they have somebody else who's authorized to step in and be the support. So the child does not have to be placed in DCYF, in the Division for Child and Family Services. So that is another layer of
Yeah.
support we've been trying to promote to families as well. Yeah. Good stuff.
Thank you.
So Madam President, Missy, I think our next piece to tackle was minutes from our meeting a year ago.
Yes, and so we want to review those quickly and see if there are any people remember things happening differently, any corrections to be made. If it feels like things are right. then we can
No
take a motion to
corrections.
accept.
No corrections needed.
Ken makes a motion to accept as presented.
And
Meeting
I
minutes from
second it.
2025. Dale seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstained? Passes unanimously. Thank you.
Great. The next piece on the agenda is election of the board of directors. And folks know that our terms for board of directors are 2 years terms, and so there's some staggered ones, and not that people are staggering. And so I know that Margaret and Ellie have worked diligently in recruiting and looking at nominating and then renominating directors for our board.
Well, I'll just say that I did not know that Margaret was not going to be here. So I was not really prepared. The only thing that I'm aware of is, first of all, we want to acknowledge Susan Jewell, who last year was elected to a 1-year term. And she has given so much to the ARC and so many different roles over the years, and has been great in these recent years. And this role on the board, and first as treasurer and helping Francie get on board as treasurer, and just working really hard to get lots of things accomplished. So we really appreciate her, and we're sorry to see her go, but we understand that she has lots of things going on. And then Sarah Godwin, oh, there you go. Wonderful. That's lovely.
And I apologize, Ellie. I thought that Margaret had communicated some information out, so I'm not trying to throw you into the lurch there.
No, that's okay.
We did have
We'll
this
do it
screen.
together.
Thanks, Susan Jewell, but I can scroll back to or actually maybe Hillary could put that up. The last meeting that the board had at the end of April was one of the pieces of action that was taken by the board was to put forward a slate of folks to be elected to the board. And 2 of those folks are up for re-election, and that is Francie Chalmers and Ken Larson. And so, which you can see their names there now. And then Sarah Godwin, as Elliot said, did agree to come back and to be on the board again. So that is that poll that is up right now. You have the room to go ahead and vote on that and elect those folks to the board of directors.
I assume we don't vote for ourselves.
Oh, you can vote for yourself. That's okay. You can vote for yourself. I think one of the things about being on the nominating committee is sometimes keeping yourself off the ballot.
Yeah.
I'd love to vote for Ken.
Being here this
Larson.
evening.
Thank you, Dale.
Yeah.
So
What were you
I'm
saying, Ellie?
seeing, oh,
Go ahead, Hillary.
I'm sorry. Go on, Hillary. I thought Ellie was saying something.
no worries. I was going to say I can see from my end that everyone has voted. So I'm happy to end the poll now. And then we will make sure to get Dale's vote, since he's not voting electronically. We'll get his vote included as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, and I will go back to this screen because, yeah, that was where we were. Trying to keep that. Oh, is that mine? Or, oh, I see. There, you can just, there you go. So yes, there was our election of board members. And I did want to take a moment just to, again, recognize the staff and the board. The board are our consistent volunteers who continue to show up for meetings, show up as committee members, and I'm really grateful for each of you being able to be here tonight and for what you offer to the community. The staff here are phenomenal, and I know that I've said that before, but it's absolutely true that each of them plays an integral role and has some really unique talents, but even more so the passion and the commitment to this work and to this community that's beyond remarkable. So our services, as you saw earlier, still include the work of the Parent Coalition in information and education for families, parent to parent, and the Latino family support, providing that emotional one-on-one and support meetings, self-advocacy, building self-advocacy skills, Down syndrome outreach that has really grown in this last year and has taken on some new activities, like they just had their first dance. And then the work of Walk and Taking Action that continues to support the SEAS line and the GUIDES program for families who are navigating an autism diagnosis and that evaluation process. Wanted to take a moment again to recognize that tomorrow is the 24-year work anniversary of Terry Hansen. She is our most senior staff member. And this is a picture of Terry along with some staff who are current staff or former staff of the Community Transitions Program at Bellingham School District. Terry was in their first class of graduates, and it was from that class that she came here to the ARC to do an internship and was hired on as our inclusion advocate. And it is a delight to still be working with her. So I wanted to take a moment to just honor her commitment and longevity in this as well. And yes, as I said earlier, thanking the board members who have continued to serve and some who've left during this last term. We have had hundreds, I think, of volunteers who've been able to help out with the Buddy Fest, participating in Civ shops, community transition students who have come here to the ARC to participate and help with mailing out newsletters, and some phenomenal dads who've been supporting one another and helping a dad support meeting really gain strength and continuity. That it's something that dads are also looking forward each month to when is the next gathering. So my big thanks particularly to David Umbaugh, who has been facilitating and helping keep that group going strong. And as Ellie had shared earlier, Susan Jewell has been our treasurer for the last 5 years. She volunteered for, along with many of the other folks who are here on the board, to be on the board and to come back in February of 2021. And during that time, she's really guided us in understanding a better understanding of our financial health as an agency. Her work on Program and Services Committee, along with Francie and Missy, really looking at program outcomes and helping to create budgets that will support and continue to support the services that we provide in the community. One of the other big investments of time that Susan gave, along with Ken Larson, was with our ad hoc bylaw committee. We spent 2 years doing an incredibly detailed review and revision of the entire bylaws of this agency. There were some new some state legal requirements we had to meet. But the other piece that Susan was very concerned about and wanted to make sure there were protections was that these bylaws require the involvement and engagement of ARC members. So she got a big thank you earlier today from me, but I wanted to make sure that we had a moment tonight as well to recognize that. And it's been an amazing contribution that she's continued to provide and offer to this community. Okay, so I'm gonna pop back to Missy and ask if there were some other questions or things that might have come up for folks.
Sounding like you did your usual fabulous job. Oh, looks like Suzanne might have something.
Sorry, I've mentioned it actually before. So I know you have the parent to support, like match and stuff like that. And I've had multiple times where Carlene's reached out to me because so I'm a late diagnosis autistic with OCD and numerous other things. Anyways, not important, but well, it is. But my point was, it is important because I'm noticing there's a support there that's needed. And I've mentioned it to Carlene that I would actually like to see an adult specific female support group, because often it's the females that are the late diagnosis. Anyways, but so I've mentioned it before, and I would like to see something like that, and I'd be willing to help out and navigate and thumb our way through that one because I know it's kind of new. But I noticed because there's been a couple of times, like I said, I've been reached out and emailed, hey, this person would like to meet another late diagnosed autistic female. So the need is kind of there. And I think and I think meeting in a place where it doesn't feel like, hey, I have to try and figure out how to navigate this in a very public area, because I feel like that's overwhelming. So so I think the need is there, and just want to kind of put that out there.
Yeah, Suzanne, thank you so much for that. And for folks who don't know, Suzanne and another late diagnosed female presented recently on an autism training that we'd offered to early intervention providers. So about 65 folks got together at a big conference room at the Bellingham School District. And so having parents of color, having women with late diagnosis, having men who are verbal and nonverbal, we had a variety of folks to be able to show that autism is, across all sorts of identities. And different groups in Whatcom County have tried to start some different support meetings over time and found that there was challenges because there are adults who want to meet together for support, and there's parents that want to meet together for support. And those needs can be very different, not against each other, but very different. So I love that idea of being able to put something together and offer a meeting place.
I will also put out there that part of the reason, one of the things I would actually put in there is for parents of those with autism, because often when I was working with in that field, that was the number one question when they realized that their kid was neurodivergent was, how did I get diagnosed? Because they wanted to figure that out. So I would actually put it out there, even though you're not officially diagnosed, but if you're seeing that maybe that might help a little bit to widen the scope and make it so people might feel more welcome to come, because even though they're not diagnosed, they're starting to see the similarities, or they're starting to do that research and they're starting to go, oh, well, that's a possibility now. So talking with others that might actually be diagnosed versus those that aren't, it could be helpful.
Yeah, and self-diagnosis is legitimate.
It is, especially as hard as it is and as expensive it is to get diagnosed. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Suzanne.
Thank you.
Well, since we're recording this, it's got all that info and we can follow up on that. Absolutely. Yeah. We have some fun things coming up, and on one of those, I guess I get to share the screen again, is something that's happening in just a few days here. Rhonda wrote a wonderful grant. She's gonna giggle, to the Bellingham Bells, because they offer a sort of a community night where your nonprofit agency gets to come and be highlighted and throw out the first pitch. And we also get some money out of that. And so on June 10th, you are all invited to attend and participate in the Bellingham Bells baseball game. It's against Nanaimo that evening. And I have tickets here at the office, and I have enough tickets that I believe all of you, if you want, could attend. So my question for you is, who wants tickets? I would think Ken and
don't-
Susan Larson.
Don't twist my arm or anything now.
All right. And
You know,
Ellie,
tickets.
yeah. So
Yeah.
would love to give tickets to Ellie. Would you like one or two?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay,
Two.
all right.
I'd
Thank
like
you.
to if you have them.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm enough.
Excellent.
I'll take two.
and Suzanne? Okay,
Ellie wants to make sure you saw too.
yeah, I saw that too, yeah. How about Missy, if you,
If there's enough, I'll take maybe 3. I
okay.
don't know. I have to see what everybody's lives are like. So I'll just take one, and then if they're available.
Okay, great. I'll do the math later tonight. I've got a list. So, but I want to make sure that all of you have the room to be able to go. And part of, when we got this grant and found out about it and then started thinking about how to get tickets out to people and how to do it, we really wanted to recognize the folks who show up, and that's you, as volunteers, as ARC members. And so some tickets went to our self-advocacy group last week as well, which was really fun. And we do have more. So we will get those distributed to you. And then you can come and have a hot dog and cheer on the team and enjoy some time with friends. But I will be tabling and having information there for folks as well. And one of the things that we have arranged is the first pitch is being thrown out by 2 amazing young gentlemen. And I don't know if you want to tell us a little bit about them, Barbara, but we get to throw out the first pitch as an agency. And so we've got some baseball fans who wanted to play a part in that.
Yeah, my son Kieran is a fan of the Bellingham Bells and has been to several games in the past and loves sports, loves being a part of a crowd and a group. So he will be throwing out the first pitch, but we found out that somebody that's becoming a good friend of his loves baseball, and for his birthday party arranged a whole baseball theme to it. And I thought, oh, we have to figure out how they can share that awesome first pitch fun. So we've invited Caden Jensema to join Kieran. Caden's mom said that Caden gets very anxious knowing too far in advance. So it's kind of like we're not telling people, but telling this group. And I'm really hoping that it's a positive, fun experience for Caden, because his mom said that would be like a dream for him to be able to do that. So what I love is it's about, including and friendship and I'm really hoping that it turns out to be a fun thing for both of these individuals, and they're part of community transitions. So it's kind of nice to be out in the community together too. So yeah, it'll be a fun night.
Thank you so much, Barbara.
Yeah.
That was the tricky thing when we learned about being able to have somebody throw out the first pitch, trying to figure out the pressure that might put on somebody and how that might feel, or how some people might feel left out as well, and thought that this team approach would be a fun way to do that. And also, try to make it a little more secure in that way as well. So I am delighted that we just get to be there at this game and be together. But everyone has different access needs and everyone has different, different ways that they want to be included and involved. And I think the isolation is one of those challenging things. So being able to have Kaden and Kieran do this together and also know that they're supported by their families and their community at the Arc of Whatcom County, is just such a boost of confidence and support for them. So I'm really excited about the game and whether the Bells win or lose, we're gonna have some nice time together.
Two.
Great.
Yep. Good.
So I will go ahead and share my screen again, because I know we're kind of moving through our agenda here. And we've gotten some information about, I have to say that my computer had a glitch earlier and these are the wrong slides, or the not corrected slides. I'm gonna stop sharing. Sorry about that. It had some old information from before when membership had to pay. And so as you know, membership is free. And so we had some information about that, and there are continue to be ways for you to be involved as a member, as a donor, as a director, as somebody who participates in committees, and even being able to show up and just say, hey, I think it'd be a great idea if we had a support meeting for late diagnosed women. So all of those things that come out of the needs of the community are things that we want to figure out. Can we meet that need? Is there a way for that to happen here in Whatcom County? So that kind of input can continue to come to us as staff and as a board, and we're excited to be able to try and make things happen. Hillary, did you have another poll to share, instead of me looking at the wrong words that I had there?
No, we just had a membership link to
It was
share,
just
but I
a-
think everybody here is actually already a member.
Okay.
We don't
great.
have any potential members right now in this group.
Okay. So, yeah, that was the business part that we had on the agenda. I know that, it's also really important for us in following our bylaws and making sure that we are continuing to follow the bylaws and do things the way, so that people feel confident about what is going to happen and know that any action, any business that's going to be taken during the meeting is communicated to you at least 21 days beforehand. So that's why we only have the voting for the board of directors. And so Ken has raised his hand. Yes, Ken?
Yes. I remember Beverly last meeting, I was talking about creating some easy fundraising stuff. Well, I have a page, and whenever you're ready, we can look at it, or I can make more and get some more going.
Oh, great, Ken.
I took the fundraising. I got about 5 or 6 right now.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Well, I
wonderful.
would love for you to be able to bring those and share with the board with, I don't know if you want to send those to Missy as president.
That would
Oh,
be
man.
great. And then we can talk about them at our next meeting.
Okay.
Get that
Excellent.
on the agenda. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
great.
I love a thinker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mhm.
So officially, we are done with business. We can adjourn the meeting, but we can keep connecting and talking. And I can, after that's done, I can also scroll to this next page just so everyone has contact information for the agency. But that is the last piece of our business together this evening.
Okay. But then that means somebody can make a motion to adjourn our meeting.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
I
Ken makes
second it.
Dale seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstained? And this 2026 annual membership meeting of the Arc of Whatcom County is adjourned. Thank you everyone for coming.